Yeah, it'll be clung onto it. This should be in.
Alright, I'll kick us off.
Cool.
Hi everybody, and welcome to another 3D chat. Let's do that again because that was too formal.
So this is chat.
Yeah.
3D chat.
Alright, another 3D
Chat
chat.
focus.
Let's do it. Alright, so I've been watching Napoleon Hill's Master Key, and it's been awesome. And we've all noticed that this being, I think, written in 1937 and Master Key being presented in 1957, we've all noticed that pretty much this is what gets taught today, so it's not anything new.
And it's done in so many different ways. Like, we're all watching it going, oh, that's how this person does it. And like my teacher, Rod Stryker, has his own way that's condensed similar information from his teachers. And then you've got your teachers who present the same information in another way. It's in books we read. It's in
literally all of the
we
personal development that we've had. Every time we undertake something new, like a new seminar, a new level of growth, whether it's like you were saying with our teachers individually or collectively together, I feel like the parallels between what we're learning, what almost feels ancient, although it's only like 1920?
1937.
Yeah,
Well, I think in Great Rich was, I think, 1937 or something like that, 1940s. But go through quickly what we've been like watching, and then let's each like have a go at like saying what we've learnt through our teacher and the similarities. And like, you know, we've all got multiple teachers, so we'll just pick one or a couple. But like, you know, the Master Key series is all about
The Napoleon Master Key.
yeah, which is all about law of attraction, pretty much. And he talks about if you can have anything you want, and you can receive the Master Key from what he's teaching you if you're ready. And I guess we've all kind of had this discussion, and if you're ready basically means you have to be open.
Absolutely.
If you're not open to it, then you're going to be and we've all been there, especially in my younger ages. I know it's just like, oh, this is all woo-woo crap, and that's not open. Whereas now it's like, I know that if I focus on something and I think about what I want, it happens, rather than thinking about what I don't want, which is what 99% of people do. We all go, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, and of course it's going to manifest.
Yeah.
So that's like the basic overview, I guess.
And does that really then tie in? Because I think the first lesson then was like definiteness of purpose. And so it's like you're going after what you know you want.
Yes.
You know, and it's like back in the day, we were just kind of going, that stuff's like, we had no idea what we wanted. We thought we knew what we wanted at the time, and we did, and it's probably like food, friends, like play, yeah. But it's like the bigger picture of what is my mission here on Earth, and like there has to be a point where we've all gotten to where we've started seeking other modalities to do that, and it's like, you know, what is the bigger meaning of life? What's next?
Yeah.
And I think it's also like not only having that belief or like thinking of something you want, it's like the thing that I also got out of, well, many things out of the Master Key series, but the latest episode that we listened to on this sort of personality you've got to have to attract these things into, like it all starts obviously with the belief and the desire to want something more, like you were saying, being open to, you can't just get everything you want without actually visualizing it, having a belief that you can get it, but who you've got to become, or not just naturally being yourself, but it is like a check-in all the time of like, okay, am I someone I'd want to be around? Am I attracting in people that are going to bring in these other experiences? Because I think we've all been in a position where we've realised that just doing it alone and having that mentality of like, oh, I can do this by myself, or, you know, I've got all the resources, strong independent woman or whatever, it's like, doesn't work like that. We're not wired that way to just
For sure.
to trudge on alone.
And the start there is like the positive mental attitude that he speaks of, and like
that's it.
if you're starting from that place of a positive mental attitude, then everything's kind of going to come together anyway. Like,
Because you're going to
realistically.
see any situation with gratitude and go, oh, that didn't go as planned. Wow, I'm so grateful for that because it's led me here, or that taught me a lesson I had no idea that I was in this to learn. But yeah, like, and I think the hub of it though is knowing your overall purpose, because when you do that, everything else around it is like, what now do I need to work on?
Yeah.
Like, pleasing personality, but it might even be that to begin with, you need to work on figuring out what the hell it is you want to do.
Yeah.
And that might be going on a gap year for like 5 years, I don't know, a year.
In saying that too, I think there's a lot of books, like we'd all agree, there's a lot of books now, a lot of courses where it's like, all right, get your 3-year goals, get your 5-year goals. So I feel like that whole topic of like knowing what you want to do, that in itself can sound like this. I know for me personally, in my experiences, that seemed like all this pressure on like knowing your purpose and knowing what you're meant to do in life, when the reality is it's like, just what do you want? Like, what sort of experiences do you want? What sort of life do you want? Thinking about it, but then not only thinking about it, having that positive mindset, but like writing it down. I don't know about you guys, I know you've always loved journaling and scripting, and I go through phases of really loving it, and then I just love being in it and not having to write. But what I've noticed from the Napoleon Hill and all the other speakers, like my own trainers in the dog world as well, is like writing down, coming up with the plan and writing that down, taking notes of what's working, what's not. And then also Jim Rohn and other listeners that I feel like are my ongoing mentors all the time, that just recently I was listening to him in one of his, I think it's The Art of Exceptional Living, and it's like, you've got to write it down, and very similar to what you're doing, checking in each week. It's like, all right, what lit me up this week? What turned me on this week, as you'd say? And then after a couple of weeks doing that, and after a month, dedicating a day out of that month to looking over
over what you've
written, and that's so important, I think. And
I want to add to the purpose. Purpose is such a strong word.
Yeah.
Like, so I remember when I started learning all this stuff, when it come to like know your purpose, it's like, how am I supposed to know that? But
exactly.
So I guess this is where it comes down to the individual. And for me, knowing my purpose is basically going, what do I really want? So what do I want to achieve, or what do I want to do? And then that is the purpose. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, it's like, this is like, I want to do I want to make my investing fund, my partnership. That's my purpose.
Yeah.
And now I think of that all the time. I focus on that 100%, and everything lines up.
The people come in, the experiences come in. It's not just you focusing on it, other people start stepping in that you need. Even if you write down, I want a mentor, it's like, even just you being in it, being you, and thinking and focusing on what you want, those people do naturally come in without you having to go mentor in this area.
And that's where, like, I heard you.
That was.
Yes, perfect.
That's
Thank
me.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
This is perfect.
It was where you were saying something that resonated. It was like, you just want to be in it and sometimes not right. But then it brought me back to the Matthew McConaughey thing of, you need to start writing down when shit's going good.
Yeah.
Because we often like our whole limiting belief stuff, it's from a story that we experience pain from, and then we play out our life from there. Rather than, what was I doing when things were going good? Who was I around? What was I doing? What was I writing? What was I eating? And like the other part of like, we can be so much in our head with everything. And when we're in our head, we forget to experience. So like when we're little and we're playing, we're like, this is it, like this is life. You're loving life, you're living it, like whether it's your purpose or not. But this is where I think Napoleon had even said is the taking action thing. And this is where my teacher comes in too. It's like, you don't just go, what's your purpose? After that question is asked, you have tasks to complete to take action towards figuring that out. And it's very important to not leave people hanging with such a big question, like, what do you want in life? What do you want in 5 years?
Exactly.
Like, give me context here. Like, why are you asking that? Where is this leading? Is you freaking me out? Whereas it's like, if you can help me get there, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Like, I want to break down all my past bad habits. I want to bring in new good habits. I want to write down this statement that's going to get me from where I am now to where I want to be, and yeah, like filling in that gap healthily, I guess.
Yeah.
I think in all of this, there is a constant toggle of like, journaling, but not always having to do that. Like being is so important. You've got to be in it, and whether it's like, I always like what he said, carrying around like a little book so that you can be present, and it's not about I've got to always be on, and like you said, because it switches you in your head and you're actually not feeling or embracing or experiencing. So it's that mix of doing that, and then it's like, but also having that book there, it's like, oh, someone mentioned something really cool, I'm going to write that down, so when I journal tonight, I can add that in, and that's definitely something we've...
Have something to write always.
Yeah, to write or record, like whatever way works for you, because sometimes I feel that struggle between, I want to put this on a video, and so it ends up going through social media, and it's like, that's, the purpose isn't to get likes or views, it's actually for me to document, and it's like, it's this inner conflict thing, so it's like maybe I do need to start carrying around a little notepad or like a voice recorder, or just do it on my voice recorder and go, this is what I'm thinking, because then it triggers me, like the social media side is very much a trigger of, you post it, and it was posting to record, but then you look back, and you're like, how many people like this?
Well, that's one thing. Like having the phone there is basically the same thing as having pen and paper.
Yeah.
And then that's a really good idea. I just thought about then. At night, spending 15 minutes going back over what you recorded for the day. You schedule it every night, and then you can write it down in your journal, or you can put it up where you want. So I think moving forward, why don't we take a couple of minutes each and talk about, whether it's one trainer or somebody who we like resonate with and really enjoy listening to, and how that person, how like all of this integrates.
Yeah.
By stopping there, let's eat first, we'll pause it and we'll come back.
Perfect. Sounds great. That looks good.